Now let's listen again at high speed.
Have you ever wondered why the wind blows or why water falls from the sky in the form of rain? These are very basic questions we cease to ask ourselves because it is so natural to us. The answer is in the subject that is omnipresent in our lives, the sun. The sunlight manages to control weather and sustain life on Earth at the same time. Sunlight directly controls our weather by creating wind and currents. It simply occurs as air is heated by the sun and thus rises. Cool air then rushes in to occupy the air the now hot air has moved from. Cool air then rushes in to occupy the area the now hot air has moved from, creating wind. Then the wind conveys water evaporated by the heat from the sun, making rain. Other than the sun's ability to command the weather, it also sanitizes and nourishes the world. To be specific, its ultraviolet rays actually create vitamin D in our bodies. Lastly, the sun takes care of life on Earth by growing plants, initializing the food chain. Sunlight makes photosynthesis possible on Earth, yielding plants for all sorts of creatures to consume. All in all, the sun is the ultimate giver.
Now let's listen again at high speed.
At the North Pole, a polar bear tries to find his way through sloshy icebergs. Its feet often sink into the sea below the glacier, which is soon to become mostly water, melting at this rate. The tired and hungry polar bear decides to go swimming for food instead. The bear swims for hours, but finds no ice to step up on. He drowns in the cold sea, too weak to swim back. This is one of the crudest examples of how animals are suffering from global warming. The raised temperatures are melting the Arctic ice, reducing the habitats of many Arctic animals. The ice is crucial to the polar bear's lives, seeing that it gives them both a place to hunt and solid ground to step on. On the other hand, some people argue that the diminished ice would allow a more easy process toward the hidden natural resources underneath the ice. However, one must not overlook the results the melted ice would have on the planet. The island nations of the Pacific, notably the Polynesian island of Tuvalu, is in risk of disappearing into the sea waters. Although the main reason cannot be solely traced back to the rising sea levels, it is a major contributor.
Now let's listen again at high speed.
The Amazon is one of the largest rainforests in the world. Due to its massive size, it manages to contribute to Earth in many monumental ways. First of all, the Amazon rainforest is probably the biggest protector of biodiversity. It is home to more than one-third of all the species in the world. There are thousands of different kinds of trees, plants, mammals, reptiles, and birds. Other than its ability to harbor the biggest population of living species, it is able to absorb the biggest amount of carbon dioxide and release oxygen into the world. This is why we call the Amazon forest the lungs of planet Earth. However, the continuous deforestation is destroying the natural ventilation system. Deforestation is mainly due to human activities such as logging and cultivation. Along with global warming, it is getting harder to breathe fresh air every minute. If deforestation continues at this rate, 40% of the Amazon rainforest would be reduced in 2 decades. We must preserve the most economic purifier if we are planning on breathing fresh air for the next few centuries.